Where's the money? Where's the money? Black Lives Matter, where's the money, bro? Where's the money?
Nick, you are the man. We're so excited to always have you on the spot, man. And okay, so we have BLM Plaza live behind you right now.
Yeah, we can no longer call it BLM Plaza. At this point, it's just Black Lives because Matters is now pretty much gone. At this point, it's pretty much totally disappeared. You can see in the background, Kevin Pasovic is actually sitting behind me. I just met him here. He brought Wawa, as you can see, to the construction workers out here that are braving the angry, BLM activists. These people don't actually, these BLM activists, they don't really go to work or anything like that. So they have time to stand around here all day and just yell at the construction workers. So they've had to bring a bunch of cops in.
Really?
You can see over there. Yeah. So they're guarding the perimeter now on both sides because, they can't stop being harassed. It's ridiculous. But I'm telling you, it's such an honor to be here and watching this live, Benny. I'm telling you, this has made my month already.
So okay, now this is like painting. It's like big letters that have been painted. For those who are unfamiliar, big painted on the biggest street leading up to the White House. Right, there's a very famous avenue.
You
in America.
can see the White House right back there. Yep. I mean, it's that close.
Yep. There it is. You can see the White House, statue of Andrew Jackson. They were trying to tear that down too. And so, are they removing the letters? What is the work that you see being done right now, Nick?
Yeah, so I'll bring you to it. Actually, let's do that.
Sure.
I'll show you here. So it's actually a little bit more than just painted here. It's actually cemented into the pavement. So even if you were to just take the paint up, you're still going to see the lettering. It's actually carved into the bricks. It's like they cut out sections of the bricks. This was a brick road before, and they put in slabs of concrete that are now painted in yellow. So they have to remove everything.
That seems like insanely expensive. There should be. We had a member of Congress on here saying there needs to be a full BLM investigation. So the city of Washington D.C. This is gonna cost millions. I had no idea that this was like. I thought this was spray painted. Stupid me. I thought this was kind of like painted on just the bricks. So you're saying that this is going to be a massive job to remove this?
Yeah, Benny, we're talking about at least a 2-week job out here.
Wow.
Because we're talking. This spans. I don't know if you have an overhead shot of what this looks like, but it spans
right here.
3 blocks all the way down. I mean, this was a boondoggle from the Summer of Love. It's a relic of a dark past. That's finally disappearing. I mean, as you can see, actually, I'll mention this part. There are bollards in the middle of the road as well, because a lot of the locals here weren't too happy about having their road graffitied in Black Lives Matter, so they'd come and do donuts in the middle of the road and rip up the paint. So.
What a mess. What a disaster. Okay, so this is something that I wanted to ask you based on your extensive work and journalism covering these riots. Now, I know that you covered the BLM riots, and I know that you've covered left-wing activism and violent left-wing activism. It seems like such a prima facie insult to every American to honor a terrorist group, which is actually what this group was. They tried to burn down St. John's Episcopal, which is, I think, right behind you, right there, that beautiful church.
Yeah.
They set it ablaze. And then right there, you're in front of the St. Regis Hotel. That's where Rand Paul was staying when they tried to kill Rand Paul after trying to kill Donald Trump in this same place. And then libs honored them. They gave him a monument, which is what's currently being deconstructed behind you. What an insult.
Yeah, and I mean, it was a fraud organization. They were extorting people for money, buying mansions in Los Angeles and in some of the most expensive zip codes in the United States. I mean, what good did they do besides just dividing us? I mean, and the fact that you painted on the street right in front of the White House, the People's House over here, is just it's ridiculous. And I mean, it's at this point the grift has been exposed. We know who they are, and I'm telling you, there's so many people like looking at me mad about me talking on the sidewalk. I'm so used to it.
I was gonna ask Nick. You're a member of the press, and you get more clicks and views than the vast majority of reporters in the world. And you're at the top of the top. But dude, like, you take your life into your own hands going into these left-wing protests. You see, they behave violent. Members of Congress behave violently towards you.
Yeah. I mean, so that's the thing about being in the swamp here, and that's why I decided to stay here full time, is because there's nobody pushing back on these leftist politicians. Nobody. Everybody is too afraid to press them and ask them questions. They're not used to it. So when they do get pushback from me, they don't know how to react. They get violent. They push. They shove. They grab. Just a block and a half from here at CFPB is where Maxine Waters' goon squad threw me on top of a car and tried to take my phone out of my hand. It's like the environment is changing now. And because, us independent media guys, you included, get so many more views in the legacy media, what we report is what actually matters nowadays. And that's why these people get so pissed off. They feel like they're losing their grip. They know they're losing the grip, and they're doing anything they can to save it, both the legacy media and the Democrats. I'm
gonna say independent journalist lives matter. Maybe we can repaint it.
Yeah.
Maybe we can just say Nick's life matters. That brings up, I think, a more interesting question, Nick, which is BLM certainly was the flavor of the month, right? We shouldn't be in the habit of painting the flavor of the month, like creating political monuments to passing fads. Right now, if you were to name a plaza, you'd name it MAGA Plaza, right? Would libs be in favor of that? Would libs be in favor of painting MAGA Plaza, MAGA Lives Matter on that street? And it's probably a good street poll, actually. But if you were to follow
maybe not
the
here
logic,
in DC, that wouldn't be a good street poll.
Totally, I think it'd be very entertaining. If you were to follow the logic, then what you would do is you'd paint MAGA Lives Matter all over DC.
Yeah, absolutely. And the entire reason that this was done here in the location that it was done here was it was done by the mayor of DC as an FU to Donald Trump. That's all it was. She painted, and actually did more than paint, built a monument to a terrorist organization in front of the White House just to own Donald Trump. I mean, it didn't work, obviously. Now she's being humiliated that it's being ripped out. And she didn't do this willingly. She was strong-armed into doing it. You saw the other day also Trump demanded that she clear the homeless encampments next to the State Department. I mean, the State Department, it was embarrassing. You'd have dignitaries that would come here at the highest levels, and they'd go to the White House, out in front of the park here at the White House. I mean, it was basically a homeless camp. And then as well as right next to the State Department, it looked like a third world country. And finally, that's all been cleared out just days after Trump demanded it be done. This is one of the most liberal cities in the United States, but Trump has found a way to make the people's will be done here.
Yeah, well, because they're a welfare state, actually, and they can't survive. They can't survive without the federal funding.
Right,
they're gone. There's like USAID. Like the entire state of DC is fake. It's not real. So what have you found there, Nick? On the greater writ large, like your reporting has gone thermonuclear viral. You do seem to be the only guy who's asking real questions. You were, I guess, in front of another federal building today, and I'm not sure if we have the footage. I think we have it right here. We're pulling it up. Apparently, people were very upset today. They wouldn't let you film from the streets. What the hell's going on?
Yeah,
CFPB.
Yeah, CFPB again. I mean, one of the most troubled organizations right now. They're terrified now. Now, what I was filming was the fact that they ripped down the signs from the inside and the outside of the building. You can see the security guard there waving me over, saying that I'm not allowed to film from a public sidewalk.
You're in the street.
It's a public sidewalk. Well, she's like, "This is private property." It's like, okay, you want to bet? You want to bet that this is private property? And it's like, if you don't want me to film inside the building, why would you call me inside the building while I'm filming? I don't understand. And then telling me, threatening me, saying that I can't film from the sidewalk, and then I'm like, okay, what are you gonna do? You're gonna arrest me? Arrest me? I think it would be a really foolish move to arrest me for filming from a public sidewalk. I mean, I might just retire after that lawsuit. That would be fantastic. So these people are going to learn. Nobody's holding them accountable up here, Benny.
Yeah, It's exciting, man. It's exciting. I'm gonna call you after this. I want you to be our official. I want you to be our official roving reporter in Washington D.C. I think you have a lot of fun. We need to set you up with a cameraman, man. Set you up with a cameraman and
every
a mic.
cameraman that I get runs away when there's trouble brewing. Now.
Yeah, that's right.
I tried that. I'm like, bro, you didn't film me getting thrown up on a car by Maxine Waters' goon squad. Come on, man.
Yeah. Get some wartime videographers in there, because that's where you are. Okay, so in the course of this interview, we've been talking for 15 minutes. In the course of this interview, Nick, have people like hissed at you? Have people like, do you feel a little threatened here doing this reporting from BLM Plaza?
Oh yeah, I get recognized a lot now here, and so I get screamed at constantly. I get snickered at, sneered at, and some of these people are just freaking unstable, man. So you just don't know. You see them all calling for Elon to be killed and Trump to be killed and everything, and it's like everybody feels like they're going to be some sort of hero taking out people that are actually loud and effective in Washington. And they see the videos, they go viral of me confronting these politicians, and the hate mail that I get, the hate mail that my parents get, the threats to their lives, I mean, it's sick. It's sickening. And then I don't know if you remember, like when I was reporting on Maui a while back, I was on Bandon's show, and I ended up like somebody snuck up behind me and started, threatening me from behind. And so I've always
creepy. Yeah.
So I'm always watching, man, especially here. I am not a well-liked person in Washington, D.C. That's for sure.
That's exactly the kind of guy I want to roll with. These are my kind of people. Nick should be your kind of person. And Nick, why don't before I pop up your X account here, so everyone can follow you, and it looks like you're so close to 1 million subs, man. Congratulations!
Thank you very much.
Why don't you show us one more glorious shot here of BLM Plaza, if you wouldn't mind?
Yeah, I'll lift you up.
Sort of show us. Okay, so it looks like they're removing the bricks now. They're removing the ramparts. The pylons
bollards.
There. Yeah, the bollards.
So they have to rip the bollards up first, and then they can rip the cement slabs up, or the concrete slabs that are actually painted over.
Crazy,
so
man!
It's a big job. They wanted this so badly to be permanent. That's why they did it. Like and they needed to, I'm sure, waste some money in the city budget.
Of course. Yeah.
But
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Who got? Yeah, that's exactly right. Which USAID contract paid for this? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to follow Nick. Nick has 900,000 subs right now on X. He is, I would argue, one of a precious handful of actual independent, real journalists who asks tough questions and gets quite the reaction. But also, he just really speaks for people who need a voice, like those who have lost everything in Western North Carolina to Maui. So get in there and make sure that Nick has tons of. Hey, look, it's a Potomac on the show. What's going on? You're getting photobombed.
It's Benny
by Kev.
Donuts back there.
I don't know if you can see that.
The audio, Nick. The audio is low, so I can't because you're going through the AirPods, I think. So
yeah, well,
I can't
hold
hear
on.
actually what
There
Kev
we
has
go.
to say.
All right, how about that? Is that better?
Kev, talk to me, bro.
What's going on, Benny?
You got to explain all that again.
Got
it. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're down behind us is the Hay Adams. Next to us is the St. John's Church that Black Lives Matter lit on fire, didn't they? And
we were talking about your Wawa out here. What you did? Explain that.
So earlier on, you can see on the back of the trunk of the Toyota there. I came down. I was down in 2020. I did this as well along Kensington Avenue. I brought the National Guard some coffee and donuts with my Joe Biden stimulus check whenever we got them. So I said, I don't want that. You know what I'm going to do? Because they give out so much free food and all this nonsense to the crazy addicts down there that don't give a darn about anything. So I said, why don't we do that again? So, of course, being one of the Poso bros, we got to do Wawa. And, yeah, so I came down. I tried to make a deal with them. I said, hey, listen, I do know how to run a skid steer and a jackhammer. Maybe we can make a deal. They said no.
But they got Wawa anyway.
But we tried.
You could have been, man, you could have been bulldozing, dude. You could have been bulldozing.
Hey, it's nice out. It's nice out.
What an honor that would have been.
Save me a brick. Can you save me a brick? We'll frame it and put it up in the studio.
Yeah,
we're trying.
A relic of a conquered people.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, listen, it's about the cultural Marxists that we don't want taking over this country anymore. And that's what I recall.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not about race. It's about they're trying to undermine this country from the inside out, and we're not having it. That's it.
Yeah. We want to live in a high trust society. You can't do that by fractioning groups and giving them special privileges. If you wouldn't paint White Lives Matter and the biggest avenue in Washington D.C., then there's absolutely no argument to do this. But especially if Black Lives Matter is a provable terrorist organization and a fraudulent organization that deserves to be criminally investigated by Congress. And so we had members of Congress on saying they're going to start criminal investigations for the BLM organization, who's clearly fraudulently used their nonprofit status. So yeah, I'm sure there's going to be more tears in Washington D.C. I'm surprised you guys aren't getting flooded out by pure salty tears right now.
I think demoralized, man. They're demoralized. They're taking so many L's recently out here with Trump in the White House that there aren't any tears left to cry, bro. I don't know what to.
There's no more. I recall, yes.
Get reconnected to my AirPods, but anyway. So appreciate you, Benny.
Thank you, boys. Thank you for this live report. This will be fun. We can do a segment every day and show the progress. Godspeed, Nick. Here's again Nick's account. Make sure that you follow Nick. Man,
does X work again?
There it is.
X works again.
Well,
hey,
it's very
right.
dodgy. It's very dodgy. But we'll get this interview right up there. Nick, Godspeed, man. 900,000 subs. Get in there. Make sure that Nick gets all the way to 1 million. Should happen very fast.
Appreciate you, sir.
All right. See ya, brother.